Hey guys, and welcome to an Arma 3 video. In this one I want to do an updated 2016 analysis of the artificial intelligence in the Arma series, and I'd like to start with a post. It's an old post in 2009 by the author of B Combat, Fabrizio T. And he talks about some of the quote-unquote original sins in Arma that were in the original Operation Flashpoint or Cold War. And so one of the things that he says is that, it really hasn't changed incredibly much, even though there's been some big steps forward. There's some original sins. So the first one, and if you kind of compare the original Operation Flashpoint with Arma 3, you can see what he's talking about. The first one is threat evaluation and rushing. And he says what the AI lacks is a proper threat evaluation phase. In reality, any military unit does some kind of target evaluation before engaging. Then it will flank, keep position, retreat, or ask for support depending on the evaluated threat. In the Arma series, he's talking about Arma 2 in this one, but it also applies to 3. The enemy AI will always engage or assault the enemy on sight, even when outpowered. Once they get casualties, they will simply flee. Group leaders always rush the enemy and fall one by one like lemmings. And then some of the features are ridiculous, he says, like the guard waypoint. Guard waypoint, they'll attack the enemy anywhere on the map. So if you have them guarding a certain facility, a base, whatever the case may be, they will attack enemy anywhere on the map. They'll hunt you down, type of thing. Number 2 is spotting and target detection is still flawed. In many circumstances, AI is not able to detect target enemies properly, and you get a weird thing where you'll be standing really close to a either a friendly AI or an enemy AI will be standing next to an enemy, and they will, for some reason, just not engage. They also have a lot of problems reacting to hostiles in CQB situations. Peeking around corners is done only occasionally. I've seen them peek around corners a lot more in Arma 3 than previous iterations, but it's still an issue. Number 3, Fabrizio says that concealment is still a problem. Tall grass, smoke, fog should conceal the AI's eyes, but that's not happening. Anti-tank units. This is one of my big pet peeves. They will continually switch between weapons, and most of the time they will not engage a armor unit, but they'll keep switching weapons. Unit stance, I always call it the stance. It's the whole crouch, prone, run, sprint, crouch, and it seems as if that whole process is random, like there's no logic behind that. It's just an evasive maneuver to avoid gunfire, but doesn't really have like a logic to it. Problems pathfinding, you see this a lot in vehicles, and there's a guy, a VCOM AI, he has a driving mod where they will actively detect objects in their way and they'll avoid them, and it's really, really impressive. I'm going to talk a lot more about VCOM later on in the video. And then incomplete implementations is the last point Fabrizio makes. Things like suppress are just not functioning properly. Find cover also is not functioning properly. So in this video, the first thing I'm going to do is demonstrate the vanilla AI, the current build of Arma in 2016. And then I'm going to go on and demonstrate the same scenario in B Combat. I might do a GL4, GL5 demonstration, which is my favorite AI mod. And then I'm going to finish up with VCOM, which is the new up-and-coming in-development mod, which I'm very, very, very impressed with. And then at the end of the video, I'll reach some conclusions. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Alright, so in this scenario, we're basically in an open field with the AI. And what we're going to do is just see how they react. Alright, I got some guys with me here. To my right and to my left, it's 5 Navy SEALs from DevGru using Massey's mod. And right now you can see guys are just laying down fire. First thing I'll do is tell everyone, even though it's not functioning apparently, is to engage and suppress that area. Alright, you might hear their fire pick up, you might not. What you do here is a lot of single shots, alright? Now the enemy is pretty much not moving at all. These guys are still in formation, if you can see that. And we're just gonna throw down some rounds down range to try to suppress them. Alright, the second thing I'm gonna do is leave 2 of my guys here, and I'm gonna use the remainder of the team to do a flanking maneuver on the enemy. So what I want is that high ground right over there. As we're moving, I'm going to suppress a little bit, and I'm going to flank the left side. Alright, so there's 3 guys, 2 guys there, that guy's suppressing. Alright, so we'll kind of move around and flank around the other side of the hill here. Now for some reason here the fire is just completely stopped. Let's take a look at the map real quick. You can see here's my maneuvering element, here's my base of fire, and with my automatic rifleman there. And, or excuse me, that's an ATI. And you can see the enemy has not moved whatsoever. Alright, so for whatever reason I'm not hearing any gunshots going off. Alright, so we're just cresting the hill here. And I'm going to tell 2 and 3 to establish a second base of fire position right behind that rock right there. And I'm going to keep maneuvering to this rock here. Alright, so you can see the guys there. Now they know we are maneuvering on them. They've probably spotted us. And I'm going to engage them here. About 400 meters away at this point. Now the volume of fire is still really, really slow. I'm not hearing any machine gun suppressing. It's just kind of single shots. That guy's down. I am getting some fire here, so I may actually try to move out of this area here, and I'm going to peek behind this this cover. I'm going to in the sitting position. One thing I do like is the sitting animation where you actually can kind of scoot. That's pretty cool. And I am taking fire here in this position. Alright, let's see what the AI is doing. Still hasn't moved at all. This is called the X in an ambush position. It's basically where the concentration of fire is. I have a crossfire going on here. And in real life tactics they call it getting off the X, right? Getting out of the ambush site and moving. You hear this a lot, the saying shoot, move, communicate. And one thing that they're absolutely not doing is moving. And that kills you, right? Because we're maneuvering on the enemy, they're standing still. And now all we have to do is continue to fire. This scenario is unique because we're on a runway and there's not a lot of cover anywhere. You're just kind of on open ground, and so it's completely level playing field. And it's a good demonstration to see what the AI does and what it doesn't do here. They are lobbing some grenades. That landed right there. So let me throw a high explosive grenade out here. I'm going to set it for 400 meters. Let's see if I can get it in their vicinity. So the only thing I like to demonstrate in this video is that the AI, by default, are not getting off the X, or not maneuvering whatsoever. Okay, I'm going to try to get the other side of my base of fire here. These 2 guys are established pretty well. They're just taking pop shots at these guys. Oh, I'm hearing some fire from the right, so my other team is firing on these guys. Alright, so second thing is to tell 4 and 5 to move up, and I'm going to have them move here. There they go, and hopefully we can close in on them. They are lobbing some grenades, so that's good. Oh, I just got shot. But I'm still up. Now these guys are just standing out in the open, which is a little bit weird. They're not even prone. That guy's down. I should get behind cover here. So let's do that. I am using ace as well. And let's peek behind cover. Now they're just not, again, this is vanilla, not moving whatsoever, not deploying smoke. And that guy's down. Alright, so that's 5 down. I'm pretty sure that's everybody. These guys are still maneuvering. I'll show you my accuracy settings really quick, both for friendly and enemy AI. So if I go into configure and game here, you can, what's really cool is in Arma 3 you can change the precision and skill on the fly. I have this down at 0.05. Some people claim between 20% and 30% accuracy is the sweet spot for multiplayer operations to give you a good challenge. I'd probably agree with that. Single player, you know, my AI aren't that effective, and I have their skill down to 20. All right, but either way, their behavior is really not going to change. I like the precision down this low just because of the prolonged firefights, and you can see that was a pretty decent firefight. We didn't get killed immediately. That guy got back up here. And I'm surprised he's not fleeing at this point. And what Fabrizio's T says is that once they are defeated, and there's only like 2 guys left in a squadron, or a squad, excuse me, they will just flee the area most of the time. So they'll fight until the end. They have maybe 2 guys, and then they're done. They'll just leave the area. Let's see if we can down this guy. Man. I know he's getting hit because he's flinching, but now he's down. Okay. Alright, so that was it for the vanilla. And scenario 2, I'm still going to be using vanilla AI, but we're going to do a sniper scenario. Alright guys, welcome back. So in this one, this is a scenario that I've used many times before. And what the enemy AI have down there is there's kind of a little base there on Udis. Fenced in and everything. There's a roving patrol, which is that guy right there. And I'm going to set this for about 500 meters. Alright. So what I'm looking at here is how they react to sniper fire, right? You got 2 guys right there, another guy there. I have some scripts where it keeps some of the guys inside the buildings. Alright. And the only real patrol is that truck. The entire squad up there has a guard waypoint, so they are supposed to be guarding this facility. And ideally, you know, if you're guarding something, you want them to stay in that fenced-in area and just defend it. They're not going to go out and hunt the enemy necessarily, but according to Fabrizio T, you know, no matter where you are on the map, they'll just hunt you down. From what I've seen in Arma 3, they seem to spread out within the area, so maybe it's not as bad as it was in Arma 2. Alright, let's start this test here. Center shot. Boom. He's down. These guys went immediately into the prone. And they're crawling around, so that's not bad. Some of these guys are standing up. Ideally, what I would like them to see is actually garrison some of these buildings, look out through some of these windows, and look for the sniper shot. Let's see what they do here. Alright, they're kind of, I think they're spreading out in a 360 manner. Some of these guys are up front, and it seems like they are looking for where that shot came from. Alright, let's see if we can launch another one at this guy. No hit. Alright, we are taking some fire. I'm going to tell my number 2 guy to move here. into open fire. Alright, so he's also laying down some fire. And these are hard shots. It's not just point and click. I do have the range set, but you know, you got variables like wind, bullet dispersion, bullet arc. Yeah, so I got a left wind here. That guy just got hit. Let's see if I can actually hit the truck here. Probably not a good place for that truck to be. He just got shot. I'm gonna try to take out, there's the wheel. Try to take out the engine block here. Driver just dismounted. Alright, now they're starting to advance. They know where fire's coming from. Obviously my machine gunner is not suppressed, even though he can. If you haven't checked out Mossy's Special Operations guys, he's got a few different units. It's really, really good. Alright, he's zigzagging. You kind of see that in a lot of the Armas. One thing they're not doing is moving from cover to cover. They are going into the prone, they're doing the stance. Alright, now they seem like they're starting to spread out a bit. They're moving downhill, they know that fire's coming from this direction, and they're just advancing where they think fire's coming from. Alright, so I don't think many of these guys are actually going to stay and guard the base. It creates a situation where we had another team, which in this scenario we have some guys back at base. If they were to come up, this base would be essentially empty. Maybe they were protecting a weapons cache, a hostage, or something like that, and they effectively would all, be outside of the base. Even though they are trying to eliminate the threat to the base, I guess.